Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome in if you are new to my channel. I'm very glad to have you here and I hope you'll consider subscribing before you head out today if you do enjoy this video. Speaking of which, today's video is going to be a Will I Buy It, Purchaser Pass, Anti-Haul, known by many different names, but essentially I am going to be going through new makeup releases that I see on Instagram and commenting on them more or less and giving you a sense of whether I think I personally would like to purchase these items or not. Like I said, I use Instagram for this, so I will list all of the accounts I use down in the description box below. I got this series idea from Samantha March's Will I Buy It series, so I will link to that for you as well to give credit where credit's due. And I will of course be popping pictures up on the screen here as well so that you can follow along and take a look at the things I am talking about. So just looking here, I'm starting with TrendMood. I often start there. They're a pretty good resource for this sort of thing. And the first thing that really caught my eye is the ColourPop and Harry Potter collab. Now, I just want to make it really clear, I don't support J.K. Rowling, don't follow her beliefs, I don't like her as an individual, but the Harry Potter series is a really fond part of my childhood. I know it also has its problems having been written by her, but it still has a sentimental place in my heart, so I was interested in this collection. That being said, I don't actually love the collection itself. So the Back to Hogwarts press powder palette is $30. It does have one press glitter. The palette for me is just too big. They went like way too big and broad here. If it were smaller, I maybe would have picked it up for like sentimental value. I do really love the packaging on the palette. The Super Shock highlighters are $12. I did think these were super cute. Again, I like the packaging on them. The Liquid Lip, the Luxe Gloss, and the graphic liners, and then the Fourth Ray lip balms, those all look like a little too like kiddish for me, like a little too childish. And I know Harry Potter is like a children's series, but they've got to know their audience, right? Like the vast majority of the people who grew up with Harry Potter are now slightly older, might want something a little more refined. And I feel like the palette packaging gives you that. And then for some reason, the rest kind of like isn't giving me that. So it's a pass for me all around. I was excited to see it was happening, but kind of don't feel like they executed on it very well. Okay, next up is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked collection. They release these limited edition palettes every year around holiday season. I know it's super early to be thinking of holiday season, but that's what this is from Hourglass. They partnered with an illustrator, Katie Scott Create, excuse me, to do the packaging designs, which I think are really stunning. And then 5% of the profits from the Unlocked series this year are going to the Non-Human Rights Project. I think that's great. Honestly, I will just say, I don't think all color stories and packaging here are created equal. I have my personal preferences. I've also already seen reviews of these. And so I have some thoughts. Number one, my thought is that Hourglass seems to have taken to heart a lot of customer feedback saying that they didn't create products for deeper complexions. I have seen a few reviews of these already, and the one that shows up in the tiger packaging here actually does seem to be relatively deep, at least in comparison to Hourglass's past releases. I'm not an expert. I don't know if it'll work for everybody, but it's a step in the right direction. That's all I'm saying. That being said, the lightest shades, the ones in the butterfly packaging, it just looks like such an incomplete palette. Like you get like 3 finishing powders and no bronzer or anything. It just feels like it can't really stand alone. So if I were to get one, I would get the center one, which has bronzer, finishing powder, blushes, and highlights. It's kind of like an actual all-in-one complete package. But the beautiful thing about this that really actually drew me in, that almost pushed me over the edge to buy this on launch date, was that you can choose your own packaging and insides and like mix and match. So I would, if I got this, I would get the tiger packaging with the kind of mid-toned palette. That being said, I don't think I'm gonna get it. $85 is so much money. I really do want to try the Hourglass powders someday. But committing to an entire 6-pan palette of their face powders feels like a lot when I don't even know if I like the formula or not. I do think these are beautiful. I think it's a step in the right direction for the brand, but probably still a no for me. Oh God, and this is to me like one of the most outrageous things I've seen in makeup in a really long time. Like, I don't know we'll talk about Fenty altogether here. This is their 5th anniversary limited edition collector piece lipstick case. It is $500. Just let that sink in. Just the case, by the way. You don't get the lipstick refill. You got to buy that separately, which I think is like, I don't know, 20 bucks or something like that. It's already available, so, oh, but there's only 100 of them, so it's only 100 available. So who knows? Maybe it's already sold out by now. This is like absolute insanity to me. I cannot believe any brand, especially Fenty, who touts inclusivity, which in my opinion should include price inclusivity. They really lean heavily on that in their brand and their branding and their marketing, and to release something that's $500 as a collector piece just feels so exclusionary to me. I really don't like this. I really, really don't like it. Fenty is also the one who released that weird like ketchup or lip gloss thing recently, right? I didn't see, or I didn't like pay close attention to that when it came out. I just saw a lot of people reposting being like, really, what is going on? And I think that was also Fenty, in which case, what is Fenty doing? Because both of these are very, very weird and feel completely off-brand to me for the brand. So I don't know, I think this is really dumb. Okay, next up, this is one I am actually really excited about. This is the new Urban Decay Naked palette in collaboration with Robin Eisenberg, who's an illustrator. This is a limited edition palette, 12 shades, matte and metallic, as we kind of know. Generally, that's the route of these naked palettes. I will say I love the packaging, absolutely stunning. I am assuming that Robin Eisenberg, the illustrator, designed this packaging. Gorgeous, unbelievably gorgeous. I actually love the color story also. I think it gives you a ton of range. It looks really beautiful. The shimmers on here, at least, this digital photo, they look really, really like sparkly and gorgeous. Really, really, really gorgeous. But I saw one thing that did make me laugh. Oh wait, I should say, I'm not gonna buy this though. That color story is not my color story. Like, it's not my cup of tea, but I like it. I like how it's composed. But I saw something on Samantha Ravindall's Instagram story when this was released, and she just said, like, at what point do we stop calling these naked palettes? Because this is not a naked palette. There are almost no neutrals in here, which I love. I think that's a good step in the right direction for Urban Decay, because they've gotten a lot of criticism lately that all of their palettes are just neutral palettes over and over and over and over. So this is a good departure from that. I think it gives the variety people are asking for, but then why kind of pigeonhole this into the naked line? Why not let this be its own standalone palette, Urban Decay x Robin Eisenberg, in whatever format made sense without branding it naked? So I think that was a good point. There's no pricing on here. They're usually like $48, give or take, for the naked palettes, but as a collaboration and limited edition, it may be more, I'm not sure. And then it just says it's coming soon to other countries, but available now in South America. Okay, gosh, this one is just like really a roller coaster for me because here is a new makeup release from Morphe, and it says it's their holiday 2022 collection. So they named things like No Silent Nights Artistry Palette, Champagne Glow, Cabernet Blush, The More the Merrier Eye Set. So they gave things like holiday names, but these are like not what I think of as holiday color stories. And when is Morphe gonna stop just like duping themselves? They already have all 3 of these palettes, guaranteed, and they have all of these eyeshadow brush shapes, but with black handles instead of blue. What in the world are they doing? Like, what are they doing? Okay, here's one that stands out to me only because of the brand. These are a bunch of new products, it looks like, from Rose Inc. So they have satin and shimmer duet eyeshadows in 4 different colors, it looks like. They have a new eyeshadow fan brush. They have a new lash lift serum mascara, and then an eyelash curler. So some tools, some makeup, etc. $30 for these eyeshadow duos feels like a bit much to me. Without knowing what the formula is like, it's hard to kind of commit to that sort of price tag for just 2 eyeshadows. I do like, though, that they provided some neutral and non-neutral options that look like they'd work for a wide range of skin tones. So I think they did a decent job here. Assuming they're just releasing these 4, I think they at least selected 4 that are different from each other in some way. It's not for me, but I'm so intrigued by Rose Inc. I've never tried anything from them, but for some reason, their like marketing, their branding, their color selection, something about Rose Inc. like always calls to me. Every single time I see a new release from them, I'm like almost buying it. And then I just can't ever rationalize it because it's not like different enough from something in my collection. Or like in this case, I just don't think $30 is like a reasonable price for 2 eyeshadows from a brand I don't know anything about, really haven't tried anything from. So I don't know, let me know down below. Do you have brands like that that are just like, for some reason they catch your eye every time, even though you've never tried something? Rose Inc. is just one of them for me. Oh, and this is actually another one that's like this for me. So this is Nomad Cosmetics. They've released some new sneak peeks of their upcoming palette for the fall. They have been on a roll. Nomad has released like 3 palettes in the last like 3 months or 4 months maybe. They had like a couple summer ones and now this one, which to me looks like it's clearly fall, right? So if you're new to Nomad Cosmetics, basically they on their Instagram release pictures or images of their shades and give clues about the destination that's going to be represented in the next palette. So it's always like a place that they're representing. And these ones clearly to me look like, you know, fall, Halloween, etc. But I'm curious, I'm not sure where the location would be because these are sort of things I associate with like all of the United States in fall time, or at least like, not the South maybe, because I don't know that they necessarily have like the same fall colors and stuff because it doesn't get as cold. I'm not sure, I haven't ever lived there, but at least like, gosh, I don't know. It just really feels like it could be a lot of places. So let me know in the comments with this one too. Do you think you know where this is? I'm super curious, but it's gonna release on the 19th, so really soon. Okay, I only see a couple more than I'm intrigued by, and we're just gonna keep on this path of brands that for some reason draw me in, just like Rose Inc. and Nomad both do, even though I've never tried anything from the brand, and that's About Face by Halsey. So it looks like they're releasing 2 new products, the Vinyl Effect Eye Gloss for $14 and the Volumizing Mascara in Jet Black for $15, and it's already available for early access on their website, I believe. So the eye gloss is basically just a clear lacquer that adds like dew to your eyelids. I think a lot of people use like clear lip gloss for this. I don't know that you would have to go out and buy like a separate product, but I've heard absolutely nothing but incredible things in reviews about Face. So I would imagine that this will also hold up. Let's hope, right? Let's hope that this like plays nicely with the other eye products she's released in her line. And then the mascara, honestly, this is one I would consider trying out if I needed a mascara, right? I don't necessarily need one right now, but it's one I'd consider getting just because it says it will amplify, lengthen, and lift lashes. It says flake-free, smudge-proof finish. So I'm not sure if it's tubing. I'm not sure if it's just like waterproof or if it's just a formula they feel is really tenacious and will not smudge or flake, but it sounds intriguing. I've never tried anything from the brand. I could see myself potentially for $15. That's like drugstore prices at this point for mascara. So I could see myself throwing it in my cart just to kind of like round it out if I wanted to, if I tried anything from the brand. Okay, and then at this point I've scrolled pretty far back on Instagram. So this is probably a little bit of old news, but I think it's worth noting just because I'm interested in it. So it's the Milk Makeup Future Fluid All Over Cream Concealer. It's $29. It's already available. It's a shade range of 30 shades that, in my opinion, are very well balanced. So they have some very light shades, they have some very deep shades, and it seems like the range in between doesn't skew too far, either extremely light, which is almost always the case, or extremely dark. It seems like it is actually a relatively good balance. I've seen really good reviews of this as not only like an under eye concealer, but as like an all over, as it says, all over cream concealer, as sort of an all over really kind of nice, light skin looking base. So I'm intrigued by it. I don't need any concealer right now, so I don't think I'm going to buy it, but I'm definitely intrigued by it. So I think that's it. This was really fun for me. I haven't really gone through and dissected new makeup like this for such a long time because I took a break from YouTube for a while and I wasn't really purchasing anything new. I was just sort of using the makeup I already had. and I didn't want to purchase anything new. So I wasn't even looking at new releases with like a critical eye of whether or not I think I'd like them, or if they're right for me, or if they have a shade for me, or anything like that. So this has been a really fun exercise for me. I hope you enjoyed this video today, and I hope you stick around. If this is your first video on my channel, please consider subscribing. I like to do relatively balanced content like this. I like to talk about the virtues of a lot of the new products coming out, but then also acknowledge that I'm just not going to purchase them all, and that's okay, and I can admire from afar and maybe just get just as much out of it as I would have if I would have purchased the things. So a lot of my channel is that way, a lot of it, and I hope you'll stick around. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you next time.